so the thing is that it's so strong in its ability to basically control your mind that what ends up happening to most people most of the time when they're trying to go out of body is the only time that that being level part of you is not basically controlling your entire mind is when you go to sleep. So what people do is they meditate and they meditate. And when do they go out of body? Right before they're about to go to sleep. Then the logical process part of your mind, he has to let go because he can't follow you into sleep, right? Or she. And then boom, there you go out of body. But that's why most people are on the edge of sleep when they're going out of body, is because they can't let that logical process part of their mind go because it's always there. It's just clamped down on you. So what we're really trying to do, the whole thing, all of the stuff that we're going to be doing, all of the exercises, everything that we're trying to help you with is going to be how to basically get that part of you to sit down and relax and allow the being level part of you to basically just run the show for a while, just be in control, because that's where all of these abilities are. These abilities are intrinsic and fundamental to us as consciousness. You as this is your right as consciousness, is to do consciousness things. And if the consciousness things are change the future probability of somebody by making them healed, or to change or to learn something through another reality frame, that's part of your fundamental like makeup of what you can do. All right. And so it's not something that you have to create. It's who you are. You just have to realize it. And the way to realize it is to get that logical process part of your mind to sit down. Did you have anything you want to say now, Brandon?
Yeah. Great explanation there, Will. So, it's kind of interesting too, like Tom's model, right, is like a computer-esque model, right? It's how we're looking at that metaphor. And the intellect is a computer in itself that cannot shut off. It cannot sit back. It's pushy. The being level is not pushy. It just sits back and lets the intellect take over. It's almost like the being level knows that you need to tame your intellect, so it doesn't try to be pushy. So your intellect, because we've been training it wrong our whole lives, or maybe not even wrong, just inefficiently, and letting it run the show. And if it's a computer that's always running, a hard drive that can never stop spinning. It needs to find a problem. It sometimes creates problems just so it can say it solved them. And most of the time, it never even solves the problem. It just solves it to its own capacity of what it believes was right. Now, that means that it might seem better to you, or the intellect, humans are really good at lying to themselves, like really good. We can justify anything to ourselves. So the intellect will justify that this is good. I did the right thing. Everyone else can deal with it. I'm okay. And no problems were solved. Probably more were created. And what does the intellect do right after that? It never, if you guys have noticed in your life, every time we all have problems in things we're dealing with, as soon as that problem ends, there is less than 24 hours, usually like 24 seconds, before a new thing comes in and overtakes your intellect, latches onto that new thing and says, I'm running with it. I'm going. We got a new problem that I have to fix. And then it's bypassing all these other things that are going on in the world around you, which you are a part of. And it decides to tell you that you're the main character in your story, which we all are. And it doesn't allow the truth. The being level just sits back. It doesn't be pushy. That feeling when you get a gut feeling, the term gut feeling. You get this gut feeling. You're like, oh, where'd that come from? As soon as you notice it, what jumps in and tells you, no, that's not it. No, don't do that. No, I know best. I'm going to tell you the best way to do it. And then you go through and you're like, yeah, I'm logically, yep, this is the way. I'm thinking myself through it. And then you do it. And then you realize that the right answer was that first intuitive thing that came to you as your logical process comes in and smacks it out of the way. And the being level just sits back and says, okay, maybe next time I'll be able to have some bandwidth to operate. And just for a quick, sometimes we all need different words just so we can connect with them, right? It's like the meanings, really words are just words. And we all we can say there's a definition that we all agree upon, but we all use those words very uniquely in our lives, and they mean different things to everybody, even though the definition in the dictionary says one thing. So when we say being level and intellect, just so we're on the same page, and it's probably redundant to do this, but I'm just going to say a couple things. Like, being level is like intuitiveness, right? We know logical process is intellect. Well, love is probably more being level. Apathy being more logical process. Being on vacation is like your being level. You stopped worrying about everything. You're here for the experience. Intellect is like the work week. You're thinking about everything, worrying about everything, taking everything home with you. Being level is understanding. Intellect wants to solve. Being level wants to experience. The intellect wants to expect, right? What else we got? You know, it's like we all know the art and math thing, logical process. That's easy to go by. The being level is always honest. The intellect, well, not necessarily lying, it's tricky and forceful and makes you believe that what it sees, what it interprets, because that's all we're doing is interpreting reality, is it interprets that this is the best thing for you, and then you go do it. There was one more I wanted to make sure I said. Oh, yeah. Others. Being level is feeling connected with others, yourself, as one. However anyone wants to look at that. And the intellect is more concerned about itself. And not in a necessarily selfish way, but more just a self-serving way. And like Will said, and I agree, and for his metaphor of the yin yang, right? They both have pieces of each other because they are the same thing. To me, another metaphor is looking at it like on a degrees on a scale, like temperature. You know, hot is way different than cold, but they're still the temperature. So being level and intellect, they kind of need to be working together. Just the intellect is so powerful and has been trained. It has been working out in the gym of PMR for 20, 30, 40, 60 years, depending on it. And the being level has just been sitting there going, oh, when do I get a chance? Oh, only when you're sleeping? Only when you're in an emotive mood or when you want to connect with things? So we just have to start the awareness and then start changing and training our being level, training our intellect to step back. And one quick thing I'll say before I let Will go again is that for me, instead of getting rid of my intellect, like it's something I need, I don't need, or it's like hampering me, I've tried to tell my intellect, and I think successfully, that, okay, if you're a supercomputer and you want all the information, well, there's information outside of your system that you don't have access to. And if you want to make the best possible decision for me, then you need all the information. And you know who can give you that? The being level. So you guys should be friends. So I've been training to let them be together instead of always forcing them out, because they are the same thing. We just have to see where they lie on the scale.
Awesome.